Namaste, beautiful beings. This is Belinda Pearl, and welcome to this regular divination session. And I wanted to share an extra reading with you this week because it has been feeling like the energy is truly getting just a little stronger. I was doing a reading earlier on. I did a reading for Leaf 2, and it's showing us this path that's unfolding, and I've been seeing it like since last year, specifically as I've been gazing a little bit more deeply and taking a little bit more note and almost discovering this pathway that wants to be unfolding for us. Yesterday I was sharing a little bit about, the same type of energy that we've had beginning of last year too, as we were kind of like covered up. We weren't seeing everything. I was sharing a little bit about that yesterday. And this pathway that is unfolding, a part that hasn't been quite experienced, a part that we know of. I was sharing this earlier in my yoga teaching this morning. We're doing like a somatic yoga experience, and what came out afterwards, the card was really showing us that we have so much to offer. There's this idea of a new part of our soul that truly wants to birth. And when I was doing the leaf reading, it came again, this birthing, this alchemy that we're going into. It's a pathway that wants to unfold. So I want you to see where the energy is today and how it's moving. The planet's always changing. I was looking at the planets earlier on, and we had this like super conjunction with Mercury and Saturn and Jupiter together around like just a couple of days ago, where it was really intense, if you would want to say intense, but it was also around this time of this new moon, this new beginning. And then the cards were also showing me personally, every time I pulled cards out, it was like a new beginning, and then twice it happened like almost in a row, and then there was, it synchronized back to the first time I'd used like a deck of cards, and then there was also the showing the completion, and then at the end of the day, like taking just like account for everything that we've done. So this path unfolds with the wisdom that we've gained throughout the past lives, absolutely, but throughout the past year especially. What have you gained? How do you want to move forward on this pathway? So I want to see where the energy is and how that's unfolding. I left one card out of the pack just to see. I don't want to put it back in. I wanted to show you if it feels relevant to show the card that came out for the leaf reading. And make sure you go and you watch, when I publish it on Leaf 2, the video, that you go watch it there as well. There's a lot of insight. I can't always remember everything. It just comes out of me in that moment. Sometimes my mouth can't keep up with the words, so sometimes funny words come up, and I've learned to be okay with that. So I always like to make the video like from beginning to end, and not thinking about how am I going to chop it or cut it up or anything like that. I like the energy to really stir through us so we get a full transmission. And that's really what I'd say my intention is this year, to truly give to myself, give in, to surrender, so that as I do this work with you, that I can really give you the fullest transmission that really wants to come through. Nothing that's edited, nothing that's had a mental piece added into it. So that's the clearest clarity that we can all go with or take with us, whatever bits and pieces that want to come with you. And I feel energy moving into the space. I've been doing a lot of practices of really letting go of mindsets, ways of thinking, old patterns, old ideas, especially old ideas, how we think things are supposed to be. Let's just let go of all of that, because all of that stuff's like muddling the mud in front of us. It's making it a little bit more muddier for us. So let's do this. Let's take a deep breath in together. A full breath out, just as we breathe out, just settle into your space. And we take another deep breath, and we ask for guidance to come through. And we say, thank you so much for this guidance that will always guide us clearly wherever we need to be on our path, and we will do so with great gratitude in our hearts and on our faces, because we remember to smile. So smile as you smile with me. Let's see where guidance is taking us here today. Oh my goodness, I love this. It says fluidity, and this element, actually, when I started working with this deck, actually on the full moon, on the new moon, that new moon in Capricorn, I was doing a moon circle with my friends, and as we're going through the moon circle, my friend asks us to pull a card. And so, but before we pulled a card, I pulled a couple of other cards, because they were just kind of like falling out the deck. I should say they were more falling out the deck when I was shuffling the deck. and 2 out of the cards were the water element. And then this one is water element again, and it says fluidity and an outer core. And early on, as I've been using this new deck, there was this inner core that wants us to really like look at what it is that we want to carry with us, how we want to like clean out our system, like reach back into the back of your closet and pull out those old things, everything that's in there. It's time, like I can feel that energy of, this is I think this mercurial energy. It's like kind of, I've been feeling a lot of Mercury energy lately. It's like almost like tripping me up. This is my personal experience with Mercury at the moment. It feels like it's tripping me up. It's purposely doing things to awaken me on a mental space. And so this is this inner core work that has been asked for us to do, to really go into the back of your old closets, your old closets, and pull out everything that you haven't seen in the longest time. And maybe again we can actually do that on a physical level, because this card says outer core, but you can see it's this being like almost like walking on water, and it's I'm trying to think of her name, but her name is totally evading me at the moment. But there's this great painting, it's like Venusian type of energy, it's coming through, and this Venusian energy that wants to come through, it's all a great beauty. And this is us like on that outside level of our being. It should become that reflection of our true inner being. And so this fluidity is asking us, and I was saying this morning too in my yoga class, or after the yoga class, I was sharing, an oracle. I pull an oracle for every time that we do something together, just simply to see how guidance is helping us. And for me, it helps me see kind of where I am, maybe where we are, humanity, are on our trajectory. This is also this pathway. So it's like water is very purifying and it's cleansing, and she's very clean in this energy. She's very purified in this energy, and she's so light. She's like gliding across the surface of the energy. And I wish you can write below, because you probably know who it is, the goddess, and it's just out of my brain at the moment, but it's this Venusian type of energy. And so and even how the numbers appear at the top of her head, it almost looks like a crown and a crowning. And if we think about the word corona too, which is triggering us in many ways, but corona too is that crown. So it feels like there's a crowning or awakening through this. There's a 12 here, so this is this pathway of our soul. This is coming back into our self and seeing what also that polar opposite of who we are in it. And then it's coming into realizing that we're not in this game alone. It's you, it's me, it's Great Spirit, it's humanity, all together, this great divine trinity. We had this super conjunction with that Mercury and Saturn and Jupiter energy too. So there was this 3 coming together. So it feels like we're going through a deep spiritual purification. It's like, are you ready for this deep spiritual purification? And even these words, like I keep hearing, I just let everything fall away. Everything that you hear, everybody's going to be speaking at you. I'm not speaking at you at all. I'm just sharing like what's coming in. And I feel like maybe, and this is my guidance, maybe just let us let everything go. Let us empty our minds and be quiet and still. And this was coming in yoga this morning, is let us be quiet and still and just listen. Not even having tensions, ideas. Let's strip ourselves clean. She's completely naked. So strip yourself clean. Allow yourself to be purified. Allow yourself to be whole. Allow yourself to step into that fluidity of your whole divine soul. I like how that kind of rhymed. There's a lot of rhyming going on. Been happening for a while. I think that's a guide of mine that likes to rhyme. I have an idea who it is. Paul the Venetian, because he came in one day, and that's when the rhyming really started and got quite like expanded through all parts of my life and how I was teaching yoga, and that's another story for another time too. But this is a time too. I was talking to one of my teachers today, and the next couple of months, like into April as well, depending where Saturn's in your birth chart, you're going to feel this energy. I was looking at Vedic astrology, and it's kind of felt a little unsettling. They were talking about this like dark, cold winter. It feels like for some people, but some people will flourish. So depending where Saturn is in your birth chart, I know like he gave me a little insight into my birth chart, which I'm grateful for. And it had this Venusian energy as well to it, because it had Taurus in it. So it's going to bother me a little bit that I can't remember this goddess's name off the top of my head. I was just thinking about her. I was telling the story about Eris, and she's like the main goddess in the story too, where, she wanted to win this golden apple. So anyhow, hopefully that all made sense. So from my heart to yours, may you always be blessed. And again, this is Belinda Pearl. You can always find me at belindapearl.com. And please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear how these messages, like let's call them messages, are being received by you, how you're receiving these transmissions. And if you have any questions too, like around this space, you know, I will always direct the questions to the oracle, and always like the highest and best will come through. But it's really about the greater good for all. So maybe if your questions are connected with this Aquarian awakening that we're going through, please like leave a comment below, and then we'll just ask guidance and see what guidance. Remember, the answers aren't coming from me, they will be transmitted for you too. So again, this is Belinda Pearl. You can always find me at belindapearl.com, and I'll see you all again soon. Namaste.